Hoity hoy, I was worried I was gonna be late tonight, but I'm not. Here I am. Looking freaking messed up though. I'm gonna have to redo this tie. Yep, no, I am going to have to redo this tie. That just looks all kinds of wrong. All kinds of wrong. Try it again. And it'll be a different character showing this time, but that's okay. That's okay. Try this. Fix up my collar. Ugh. Okay. Come on, goddammit. I need a dresser, as in a person who dresses me, because I'm kind of bad at it. This camera doesn't help. Okay, I feel like my collar is skew-if. My camera doesn't help because it's not a mirror. Like most times when you see yourself in a camera, you see it like a mirror. It's a reflection. But this isn't. For whatever reason, they choose to show me what in mathematical terms you would call a translation, I think, rather than a reflection. But, okay, I think I'm in a slightly, still looks totally fucking skew-if to me. Oh my God. What is wrong with me? I'm just going to have to give up. I am going to have to give up. And good evening, Raiders. I'm just fussing with my appearance. Thought I was going to be late for this stream. Been in the city today, seeing work people. Stopped for some Korean barbecue on the way home. Made it here in plenty of time. And I even got to shoot a little bit of video I wanted to shoot before the stream. Because I'm going to do a taste test with these banana syrups I made. Now, this week I made a banana syrup with brown sugar and a banana syrup with white sugar. And I've made a drink on stream with the brown sugar one. And I don't think the banana syrups carried through. I think the sugar overpowered it. Raiders has news. Always pleased to get news. My phone's dinging at me. Oh, it's Aidsy wants to join again. Well, that's fun. I'll send him a link. Hi, hello. Had a blast from the past. Watched decade-old footage of the Rapture meetup we had on the side channel. Good Lord. Raiders, track down the troll's exact location. Well, don't say anything that's, the equivalent of doxing on the stream. Yes. Joking on Ashes. Hello, not staying long. Oh, we're going to have a first professional haircut in about 25 years. Well, that sounds lovely. Yes, if by exact location, Raiders, you can tell me street name and number, but if you just mean what suburb, whatever, that's fine. Thanks for dropping in, even if it's only for a short time, Choking on Ashes. And I think it's great that you're getting the haircut. Now, I'm going to invite Aidsy because he wants to join us. Come and join us. Come and join us. All right. Just let him know that I emailed him the link. That's right. You don't want to commit any more crimes on the stream. Hello, Chris, by the way. I'm just letting AIDSy know I've emailed him the link because he wants to join. So, Raiders, without saying anything too incriminating, then how did you work out where the little sad fuck is? You know, if we can say that without tipping our hand to criminal activity. So AZ says he's going to see us soon. And hello, Annette. Oh, Raiders, he's clearly not very fucking smart at all. Like I said, him leaving his screen name in those videos that Matt pointed to. Hey, Matt, by the way. And hi, Annette, if I didn't say. Matt, he hasn't shown up. Next time he shows up, I will. Just because of the weird way both YouTube and StreamYard work, and because this clown uses fake screen names all the time. If I just looked up the screen name on YouTube, I might get the wrong channel. So next time he actually pops his stupid head up, I'll block him. So Choco Nash, you've been cutting yourself having friends do it, but it got too long while in hospital. Scared to do yourself, you have good hair. That sounds lovely. Treat yourself, I say. I looked smart. Okay, this is for two reasons. One is I actually went into the city to see work people today. Heist, it's Locust Trooper. I went into the city. And I didn't have to dress up for work. Everyone's going in real casual. But I thought, double thing. I'm going to do some cocktail video tonight. So I'll wear the cocktail making clothes and I'll wear it to work. And it'll be on when I come here. So, yeah, in the second hour, I'm going to shoot some cocktail video. Going to make rum old fashioned with my banana. Going to make 2 rum old fashions. One with each of my banana syrups that I've made, the white sugar and the brown sugar one, and see which one tastes better. So yes, Raiders, he filmed himself. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, Raiders, that's even stupider than I thought he was. I might actually tell him that before I blocked him. He's an idiot. Filmed himself walking out his front door to a local intersection, and because of the traffic, you could pinpoint the exact location. Jesus Christ. I think before I ban him, I'll tell him, dude, you're a fucking idiot, and you need to stop. Choking on Ashes, it's the South Park gang. Matt, we do occasionally have meetups in Melbourne, and yeah, it's kind of like if people really want it. It's like people have got, I don't know, a bit less enthusiastic about it over the years, but we still do them occasionally. We had one earlier this year to celebrate the simple fact we could. But yeah, I don't know. There's not that much demand for it. Shieldsy, yay. You were watching something else, but it was boring. So you skipped through and now you're here. Good to see you. Oh, okay. I get it, Choconash. You're on your phone. Can't see where. Yeah, that's Kenny. The entire tie has all 4 of the main kids from South Park on it. It's a very old tie of mine from the 90s. It's when all my ties come from. I had to wear ties in the 90s, so I bought a bunch of novelty ties. Yeah. So look at this one. This actually looks pretty sexy. This is my banana syrup made with white sugar, and this is my banana syrup made with brown sugar. And speaking of brown sugar, it's Daisy.
Hello there.
Hey, buddy.
And you're right about the brown sugar part too.
Oh, yes.
Big guy.
Oh, yes.
How are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
I've had a day.
Oh, what's your day been?
Hey?
What's your day been?
I had a conversation with the pain specialists.
Uh-huh.
Not a fight.
Oh, not a fight.
A conversation. That's the first time in about 5, maybe 8 years that I've had a
Yes.
conversation and not a fight with the pain specialists. I nearly shit myself when they left, and said,
Because you never
your
fight.
arguments make perfect sense. We'll do it that way. And I've gone, yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking basically what's going to happen is the hospital's going to turn into a survival horror game tonight. Because it's got all weird. I'm thinking zombies and ghouls are going to come after me, and I'm going to have to get on-site procurement of weapons. I'm going to start with the stirry stick, and end up with the BFG
Level up.
9000 or just an AK-47, and have to pick up ammunition on the way. Bajunk, bajunk, bajunk.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if you could just run into stuff and pick it up, like a car. Bajunk. If I get a Mercedes SLK, bajunk, and put it in this backpack which doesn't get heavy. I saw Rooster Teeth once do a thing where they got one of the guys and they loaded him up with all the stuff you'd need to be Mario, and then they put a face mask on him, so that he could only see himself side-scrolling. And the first thing he said after they'd loaded everything on him, like including the bomb, right?
Yeah.
He said, "This is what it was like to be in the army. This is what it was like to be in the army." And he was like, just like weighed down with shit. And I said, "So go." And he's going, "Oh shit. This is." And of course, first step is like, wham, over. And he gets like, I don't know, halfway through the platform they've made, and they start throwing fucking mushrooms and fucking shit at him. And he's going, he's consistently falling over.
I just want to say a couple. I want to say a couple of hellos to people who came in while you're talking. Abigail and Toby and Thane.
Abigail, thanks for coming visiting me.
Abigail that's right. Abigail physically visited you. Yes. She thinks you're sounding better, which is nice. I like Thane's line. He should drink more than he do, but it's hard to be a drunk when you can't physically hold cups. But Aidsy can't identify with that.
I don't know what that's like. I have no concept of what it's like to not be able to take any more drugs because you're too fucked. What you find is a friend to carry you. Put it in my mouth and make me chomp it down.
Hold your jaw and go, nyeh, 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 nyeh.
Yeah. Shelve it.
Or baby bird it. The other person takes the drugs and chews them up in their mouth and then tilts your head back and spits them down your throat.
Yeah.
That would work.
It's very much like sucking cock.
Yeah.
I'm in a hospital, so I have no shame or fear. It just reminded me of something that I'm not allowed to say on camera or to anybody.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway,
I'm just going to clarify something. Yeah, Abigail saying Nettie went to visit you. Choking on Ashes. Yes, we saw Aidsy on the stream on Tuesday, but yesterday, Abigail and Nettie actually went and physically visited Aidsy in the hospital. So that was nice.
It was lovely. Yeah, it was fantastic to see Nettie, and it was fantastic to see Abigail. And it was really nice. It was really nice, and I was going, come and see me again, because I always get lonely and bored, and whenever Angry comes over, he throws things at me. And he's supposed to. It's part of the noblesse oblige of the white man. Um, did you know that they changed my bed to a bariatric bed?
Oh, what does that mean?
Well, you know, bariatric.
That's
Um,
bowel stuff.
no, it's
Or
fat
stomach.
people.
Stomach. Yeah, yeah. It's where they do
It's
one of a
obese.
number
It's
of
super morbidly obese people, and
yeah.
they need special stuff to sit in. I've got a
And
bariatric chair and a bariatric bed. I had a normal bed when I moved here,
yeah.
and now I've got a bariatric bed, and I've never had the balls to ask why they put me in a bariatric bed, and I'm not that big. So I
You're
sort of
not.
jokingly said to one of the nurses, "I'm fat and I'm old." She says, "Well, you're really not fat, and trust me, in Royal Melbourne Hospital, you're not old." Um,
Sorry,
and
I thought it was gonna be the other one where you're I'm fat, old, and ugly, and they go, well, you're not that fat, and
yeah,
that's all they say.
yeah, exactly. You're not terribly fat. Um,
And when they stop there, you go and they went, no, that was my whole sentence. No,
no,
that was it.
I'm
That was
done.
it.
I'm done. I'm done, and I've got to go and visit another patient. So if you could put that cannula in yourself,
Yeah.
because I don't want to touch your skin. Which reminds me, no one else wants to touch my skin. They might have changed their minds.
Oh, about those leg things.
Yes, they've gone. We don't know if it's veins or arteries. So we're going to stop putting tight stuff on your legs until we can scan and
Oh,
ultrasound your legs to find out which bits aren't working. We know bits aren't working because your legs have gone black, which means that the blood cells have gone into the capillaries, stopped and died, and left iron behind, which floats up to the skin and starts breaking it down.
oh my god. Oh my
I
god.
win. I
A
win.
new one from AZ.
Well, it's been there for a long time, but I only just found out why it did what it did, and it's gone really black. Um, and so they're going, oh yeah, we don't know. We've said it's veins for 3 years, but we think it might be arteries now. And so today's thing about the pain doctors was, I need you to give me the calm down pill because they're going to do the ultrasound, which means they push the probe into you to
Oh shit.
see
Sorry.
the thing, right? And they push it into the ulcers to see,
Oh
and
shit.
that hurts. And so
Yeah.
I needed to calm down to breathe through it. As it was so fucking late that I also got some. I also got some fucking hardcore opioid drugs to go with it, and
Okay.
I was going, probe me now.
Yep.
If you have to probe up my ass, so be it. I'll probably even enjoy it. Give me some amyl, and we're away.
Just before it goes in, crack an ammo under your nose.
Right.
Why don't they do that? Why don't they do that more in hospitals? Why don't, proctologists do that? Okay, now you bend over, and when I say go, crack that ampule under your nose.
Crack that ampule, breathe in, and then breathe out. Breathe out calmly, and you'll feel not much initially.
Yeah.
Then you'll feel a slimy feeling, and then if I do my job right, you'll feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Um,
You'll feel all the sensations at a certain point.
I once was in a situation where I had to crack the amyl under my nose for a person, and
Yeah.
He's gone, yeah, all right, I'll organise it, and he's like, he was a bit under the weather, and what he'd done was he put the amyl up into my nose and hadn't
Yeah.
jammed it up into my nose, but put it up so that it would touch, but it splashed up there.
Oh
And I've
no.
gone, oh, it's up my, oh, Christ. So it's up my nose, and he's gone, shit, okay, that's a problem because it's, it's up your nose, and that'll make your heart race. Okay, have some chloroform to even it out. And I've gone,
That's
okay. Oh my God, I can see time. I can taste blue. And it
that
was fucked up, and so was
that
I.
that's Hunter S. Thompson logic.
I know, right? But when you're 19, you'll have a go. Um, and didn't I have a go? And at the end of that experience, I just went, yeah, it was all right, actually. It was a little bit Incredible Hulk / Spider-Man. Like, you could never recreate the accident.
Yeah.
And if you tried, you would die. But
Yeah.
I just felt a little bit superpower in
Yeah.
those couple of hours. I just went,
Okay.
yeah. There were things about my body in that time which were really different but quite spectacular. And I was the belle of the ball for a good few hours. Yeah. Anywho, you get that.
Yeah.
So it looks like the scanning people have gone home for the night.
Uh-huh.
So I got really stoned for nothing.
For nothing. Oh no.
But I've got another. Well, I'm actually supposed to have had another round at 8 o'clock, and it hasn't happened. So I'm going to hit the buzzer soon. And because I don't want this guy to go home without giving me my Barbo drugs, because he's a nice guy and he's quick on the going and getting the drugs, as opposed to others who go, yeah, I'll get you tablets, and then 4 hours later they turn up. And of course, what happens in hospital is you can't just have them when you want them. They do them on strict timelines.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't have two of these because you've got to have one every 6 hours. Or no, actually, I've been put on 4 hours. And I'm sorry, I got distracted because my fucking legs are killing me.
That's fair. That's fair.
And I'm not allowed to go home. I thought seriously I would go home tomorrow. And the physio 2 days ago came and said, right, come with me and walk up a step because you've got 60 steps to walk up at home. We're going, yeah. How did you know that?
You've
It was
told
in my
them.
file. And it's fucking, you know what? Some of the shit that they asked me is in my file. I'm sure it is, and they don't bother. And some of the shit that is really fucking insignificant is in my file, and they fucking know all about that. Like they know all about my IV drug use, but they don't know that it was 30 years ago and 3 times. And I have to tell them every fucking time that you can never get stoned for nothing. It's the journey that counts. Dr. Abigail, you are correct. I sit corrected. I sit with my legs up
Yeah.
in bad plaster, corrected.
Quick question for you. Quick question. Are you wearing a red band on your wrist?
I'm wearing a red band on my
Does
wrist.
that mean allergy? Are you allergic to something?
I am allergic to a few things.
Ah.
One of them is chili.
Oh, Jesus, I know that. Of course.
And another one is called Christ.
Yeah.
It's one of the opioids actually.
It's not
And it
that.
lowers
Well, I
the
mean, it's
seizure
important from a
threshold,
hospital's
and
point of
it's
view.
called. I can't
Choking on
remember.
Ashes heading out. Thanks for dropping in and saying hi.
Thanks for saying hi, Ash. Appreciate it. Enjoy. Tramadol is the other thing that I'm allergic to.
Tramadol. Right. Okay.
And it's really good slow release pain reliever. Only unfortunately, it lowers your seizure threshold, and it gave me epilepsy. That's why I
Damn.
can't drive.
Damn.
Because I was having seizures every week for 2 years, and like bad ones. You know this. You saw it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was because I took this drug. And so that's my other allergy in hospitals. And they've got a couple more now that I don't understand. One of them's a kind of penicillin that apparently I get a rash.
Okay.
Okay, big deal. And another one is a drug that is apparently it's a pain drug, but it's actually a an antidepressant, which of course makes me suicidal. So I'm not allowed to have it either. I'm not allowed to have any um, uh, uh, antidepressants at all because they all make me suicidal.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
fucking knows? Um, for a while there, they were going, "Oh, there's a new one out. Oh, it's different. Works differently." And we tried 4 different ones 5 different times, and every single fucking time it was just a shocker. And it takes ages to leach out of your system. And the correlation was ridiculous. You could see, all the suicidal ideations were going up as the thing peaked, and then I would go, no. And then they go, okay, no more. And, as it leached, the visions and the impulses would just fucking fade out until finally I'd go, oh, I feel pretty good today. Um, so yeah, that's one of the things that they keep on recommending for long-term pain. I go, no. I'm still in shock that I had a conversation with the pain people today and not a fight. Beyond that, yeah, my legs are killing me. The skin feels like it's on fire, and the
Yeah.
ulcers feel like someone's put nails in them.
Oh fuck.
And
fuck.
and hitting them with a hammer. And it's okay because you can just chill and go, you know what? It's just a thing. It's just going to happen. It's you know how when someone's screaming, right, next
Yes.
door, yeah,
Yes.
or even a little kitty, yeah,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
screaming all the time,
Yeah.
and you can go, that's like a saw in my head, and after a while you can go, I'm just gonna let that go. I'm just gonna fucking zone that out. First night I was here, I was in the waiting room for 7 hours, and then I was in the emergency ward for 4 hours, and then they put me in here. The whole time there was this guy there who was having a psychotic episode. And every breath was a scream. So breathe in and this went on for hours.
Oh dear.
And what was bizarre, was fucking weird, was at at 3:15 in the morning, right? Fucking literally half the people in the waiting room went, sorry. Mr. Screamy ran out of energy and
Yeah,
crashed.
yeah. Yes.
Right?
You told us about
His
Mr.
actual
Screaming.
body
Yeah.
just ran
Yes.
out of
Yes.
energy and he crashed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And everyone's going, oh, they shot him. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. And people were saying, oh, just can you sedate him? Or fucking, you know. And I was looking around at another guy and he's going, no, you can't sedate him. You can't sedate people who are having meth psychosis. That doesn't work. You get a bull elephant gun and do it, and it wouldn't work. Anyway, so he crashed out for like 45 minutes. Then he woke up.
Oh,
He
dang.
was back. He was back, bigger and badder than ever. He was like the Rock. Can you smell what the Rock is cooking? And he
Yeah.
could. And he just went for it. And at 3:15, literally half the waiting room got up, went to the triage nurse and said, I am fucking going home. And only the people who really couldn't, who had like fucking broken shit and really bleeding shit, who couldn't go, stayed. But half the waiting room fucked off. And everyone's looking around going, this essentially means that half of our waiting time is gone. And we're going, yeah, right, go fucking psychosis guy. And then a guy comes in who's Mr. Violent, and he took up the rest of the time that we just saved. So God punishes. That's
Yes.
all I'm saying.
Ruthlessly.
Yeah, God punishes the bad. And we were the bad because we were going, yeah, psychosis. And then we found psychosis hurts you too. What was very funny was this guy came in, punched 3 nurses, and was banging his head into walls and falling over. And he was being very careful with his mobile phone and then banging his head and punching people. And like broke glass and was, just around the fucking waiting room. And there were 4 coppers and 8 security guys, and they fucking jam him down and cuff him and fucking put the zip ties on him and get him on a gurney to get him, in because he can't be thrown out because he's clearly, and he was obviously ODing. And everybody in the waiting room is just looking at this going, fucking hell. And this one security guard turns around to us and says, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, could we please give this gentleman a little bit of privacy, or as much privacy as we can, please? The fuck? All right, yeah, we'll all look away.
Yeah.
Like, fucking what?
That's like the old naked.
breaking the world,
Yeah.
and we were next. Like, what the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. We'll
Yeah.
give you some privacy. Yeah. Okay.
That's the old Naked Gun movie. There's the Naked Gun movie with Leslie Nielsen. There's one scene where things are exploding behind him and people flying through there, and all the shit's happening behind him, and he's just waving at the crowd. Nothing to see here. Everyone just go home.
Exactly.
Nothing to see.
Exactly. Nothing to see here. And we're going, no, there's quite a bit.
That's kind of everything to see here. Yeah.
Yeah. There's quite a lot to see here, actually. Some of it involving our own personal safety.
Yes, that would be a big one. Yeah.
Yeah. When they were first fucking getting him, I just come out of the dunny, and I waited away to try and give them room to move with this guy, and they finally got him down, and so I sped back to my chair, and I had a couple of sneaky vapes out the front. But you don't want to be away too long. Because they call your name 3 times.
Yeah.
And after they called your name 3 times and you're not there, they basically abandon you and go to someone else. And then you're back at the bottom of the waiting list, and that can be another 3 hours.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, so I've been in here now in this great room. Really great room on my own.
Nice.
I think it's because I'm a black book. And with stinky legs, like bad. You know, you take the dressings off my legs and you just go, oh, that's not right.
Yuck.
If
Okay.
you smelled that coming out of a house, you'd fucking call the cops for a welfare check.
Yeah. Oh dear.
You know,
right.
That's that stuff. You know, you got, is that Stone's green ginger wine?
No,
that's Jameson's.
Jameson's have put out some special editions where it's finished in different barrels. This one is finished in a stout. This is the stout edition.
Ooh.
It's also an IPA one. I just got it because it was on special. So I'm going to do a quick taste test. Normal Jameson's.
Oh, God.
Oops.
Give me the result when I get back.
All right. Oh, dear. Okay. Emergency for AIDSy. Okay. He can move fast when he needs to, really. Or you get this crack. That's a little bit of cocktail ASMR there. And the glug, glug, glug from the new bottle as well. All the cocktail ASMR. So, okay, well, first it's darker than normal Jameson's. Jameson's Stout Edition. It's that very nice light smell Jameson's has. It smells kind of the same. Maybe a bit sharper. Anywho, so normal Jameson's. Sort of light and sweet compared to a lot of whiskies. And some... oh, he's back. That was quick.
Well, I mean, it's just over there. And you don't have to ask boss of the house nicely to move.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, how's the Jamesons?
Well, I had some normal Jamesons for a comparison. Well, it has a definite beer sort of taste to it. It's still a whiskey, like it doesn't taste like beer, but that beer bitterness.
Yeah,
it's definitely picked up some of that.
So it's got a bit of hopsy, sort of.
Yeah, the hopsy bitterness, which is an actual really quite interesting flavour blended with Irish whiskey.
Yeah. If you put something blackberry or something high end, you know what? Bloody, I'm thinking if you put a little bit of green fairy with it, that might come good.
I like the fruity idea of saying, like, I was thinking, because I've got a couple of really good fruit liqueurs, and I was thinking, like, make it like an old fashioned, but instead of putting just sugar syrup in, put half a shot. Like I've got like, what have I got? I've got red currant, black currant, and blackberry, I think, all made by the same mob in Melbourne. I reckon just put something fruity with it. Would probably be quite the treat.
Yeah.
Oh, and you missed the whiskey ASMR, namely because this was a new bottle. When you open it, you get that crack that you get the first time you open it, and because it was full, when I poured it, you get that glug 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 glug.
Good, yeah.
It's
There's
cow hugging
nothing
vegan
like
saying,
that, is there?
"Why does the glug sound so good?" It does. It just
It
does.
just does when it's whiskey. The glug glug
Yeah.
glug is
Glug glug
like,
glug. Yeah.
it's. I think it's a promise.
It's what?
I think it's a promise,
Yeah.
and it's basically saying, out of all the things that have pissed you off today, I won't let you down.
That's
And
nice.
glug glug glug. I'm a promise, and this promise is going to last 750 mils.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is, and also too, it's not a watery glug 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 glug. It's a thick glug glug glug. It's got a bit of substance to it.
Yeah.
Numsay.
Namsay?
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I was just looking something up while you were talking. I've also got, besides having, because I just got this because it was on special, so I wanted to do a
Yeah.
taste test. I got some American whiskey as well.
Ooh.
So 100 proof. So I'm going to
Ooh.
do a comparison of that too. So normal whiskey is about 40% alcohol. These
Yeah.
ones
Yeah.
are 50% alcohol. So
Yeah.
just noticeably more kick. They're not like hugely overproof, but just noticeably more kick than a standard bourbon. They're both bourbons. Oh well, I've got one. I'm going to compare it to one I've had for ages, and I got Wild Turkey 101, which is very highly rated as a mixer for people who like bourbons, and
Yes.
just happened to be on special, so I thought I'd grab some.
I'm going to send you and Boss of the House shopping one day.
Yeah.
Boss of the House comes back with food from the supermarket that's got the sticker on it going 10 cents price to
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah, no,
Um,
that's me. That's me.
One time he bought a salad and was taking it around in his basket, and it blew up. And
Yeah.
so he took it back and put it back where he found it. I'm just going, no, why'd you give it to someone and say this salad blew up? And he was really disappointed because it was 10 cents and he was going to eat it. And, I was just going, you can't eat a salad that's blown up in its packet. That's
Oh
that's
dear.
a fucking sign.
Yeah,
And
see
he eats
that's
all these 10-cent and 15-cent fucking salads. And he brought home a 30-cent pizza. I'm going,
nice.
oh, God, don't. And I can't eat any of this shit because I've got a low self-esteem. I've got a low
Self-esteem.
fucking immunity. I've got very low immunity. And so if
Yeah.
there's any bacteria or anything, I'm dead. And so when he brings home this like 10-cent and 20-cent food, I go, I can't even pretend to eat this shit because it's mostly off. The reason they put it out the door for 5 cents is that if it doesn't get eaten within the next 15 minutes, they're going to get sued for wrongful death or severe injury. Which they
Damn.
probably win.
Yeah. Yeah. So right, I'm gonna get another 2 little bits of ice because I like to have my whiskey on ice. Where are we? Do. Let's get
Your
down to...
U-Butte fridge has an ice maker in it, doesn't it?
Say what again?
Your U-Butte fridge has an ice maker in it, doesn't it?
No, just one of those trays that are in the thing that you twist and put in.
Oh, gotcha.
It has a water dispenser, but again, it's not plumbed in. There's just a reservoir in there that you fill up with water, and then there's a tap.
Yeah,
which is nice. Chilled water is nice. All right, so
always nice.
This is the one I've had for a while, Knob Creek.
Yeah.
And I got this one because it was on special. It was like, I happened to look in a Coles bottle and it was like $25 off. And I went, okay, I normally wouldn't get that. Most of my whiskies are Australian, but, you know, when it's on special. And this one was like $15 off. So I thought, ooh, that's a satisfying noise, isn't it?
It is a nice noise, that.
Oh, it is the glug glug.
There you go. There you go.
The glug glug. All right. So Wild Turkey is, where are they from?
Tennessee, I think.
Master Distiller Jimmy Russell. Like the Kentucky River, Wild Turkey is mighty bold. So I assume that they're like saying they're from Kentucky there, but it rather generically says made in USA. Which means that maybe not. But anyway, Wild Turkey.
I always thought Wild Turkey was Tennessee. But the Kentucky River is
Knob Creek.
Says Kentucky, doesn't it?
Knob Creek is Kentucky. Anyway, so
Knob Creek is Kentucky.
First glance, Knob Creek's a bit lighter than Wild Turkey. Oh my God, it's just like that caramel thing that bourbons have. Very, very sugary. Oh, wait, I should do a palate cleanser between tastes.
Mm-hmm.
A bit of water to wash off my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Wild Turkey's sweeter.
Yeah.
It's got it's almost tobacco taste at the end, which would be to do with the burnt barrels that they age it in. That's the weird thing. One of the rules of bourbon to be called bourbon is it has to be aged in new barrels, but they char them. They actually burn the inside of the barrels to get some more character.
Either American oak or Canadian or American maple. But they have to be charred and they have to be new, which is why the Scotch distillers buy them by the barrels, and then they give them to the Portuguese, Spanish, and French who distill Port Muscat and Tokay in the barrels, and then they get them back after that process, and so they've got the whiskey, the sweetness of the liqueur, and then they just fill them up with Scotch. Just let them go for like 10 years and go. So, how much did the Angels steal?
Yes. Well, for those who don't know what age he's talking about, a certain amount of the whiskey evaporates in the aging process. What's off? That's the Angel's share, the one of the whiskeys is a version they call the Devil's Cut. That's the more sort of concentrated bit of it. The Australian distillers, they tend to use wine barrels, a lot of Australian distillers are into sustainability, so they don't want things to be shipped over long distances. So they normally make a deal with nearby wineries to buy their used barrels and age. But some people will say like, oh yeah, no, I happen to get this consignment of Scotch barrels or bourbon barrels or whatever. And
yeah, they'll often Australian distilled drinks will come from local wineries, and of course, local wineries have their own character,
yes,
which then changes the character of the distiller's product, and then you get this long time back and forth, and of course, the Australian distillers will use the barrels again.
yes,
But what they'll do is they'll put fortified wines in them, and then use the barrels again for the distilled drinks. And by that time, the character's changed once more, but you can still get that winery taste
yeah,
out of them. And
yes,
by then, you've got so much different flavouring in them. That's when, because Australian distillers are now just starting to sell each other single malts or first first pressings of their own distilled drinks so that they can make blends. They're just now starting to do it.
yeah.
There's enough of them.
Yeah, most of them do blends. Like single malts are more expensive. That means, yeah, single malt means all the whiskey was produced in the one distillery. That doesn't mean like single barrel. That doesn't mean they're a single thing. In fact, the one I just got from Archie Rose, thing that sells out the same day they release it, they're single malt. There's actually six malts in that. They say it's common for people to use 2 or 3 malts for their single malt.
Yeah.
They actually did 6 different malts, and then the master distiller did the measuring up of, including one of them was smoked. So it kind of tastes like Scotch because it's got this very light smoky thing going on.
But
Which
when
nice.
when they do that, it's their own
Yes.
single malt.
So that's a single malt. So if they swap stuff with other distilleries, it wouldn't be called a single
Get
malt.
their own single malt, and they send several barrels off to other distillers.
Yeah.
And the other distillers get all these single malts from other distilleries, and they blend them and go, do I want this? Do I like this taste? Do I like this taste?
Yeah.
And then they get their blend just right and go, that's the blend.
Yeah.
Then they ring up the various distilleries and say, I'll need 100 barrels of this. I'll need 20 barrels of that. I'll need 10 barrels of this. I'll need...
Yeah.
And over they come on a truck. Then they get bottled up and everyone's happy.
Yeah.
And in some places in Skye, they don't even charge each other because it's such an incestuous
Yeah.
that there's no real point like trying to remember who gave who what. It's like, because next year it's going to be different again. When you've got the big commercial distillers that you see in the shops all the time, they have their ways and means, and sometimes it's even their own sub distillers that are doing the single malts just to their own specifications because they want the same product coming out of the factory all the time.
Yeah.
I may very well have to disappear.
That's okay.
10 minutes, but I might not, and that'll upset me.
Okay.
I've got to disappear for 10 minutes. See you soon.
Alrighty, see ya. Okay. What I'm going to do while Aidsy's gone is a cocktail video. I'm going to make a rum old fashioned because World Cocktail Day is coming up, and the cocktail. Originally, cocktail meant a very specific drink that we now call an old fashioned. Well, the original definition of cocktail was just any spirit, sugar, and bitters. Oh, well, sugar and water and bitters. So sugar syrup and bitters. The 13th is World Cocktail Days. There's yeah, I love this little letter, and because it's old typeface, where for an S, the character looks like an F, which actually makes it weirdly difficult to read, even though you know. Someone said, "What is a cocktail?" And the editorial response is, "As I make it a point never to publish anything under my editorial head, but what I can explain, I shall not hesitate to gratify the curiosity of my inquisitive correspondent. Cocktails, cock-tail, then, is a stimulating liquor composed of spirits of any kind, sugar, water, and bitters. It is vulgarly called a bittered fling, and is supposed to be an excellent electioneering potion, inasmuch as it renders the heart stout and bold at the same time it fuddles the head. It is said also to be of great use to a Democratic candidate, because a person having swallowed a glass of it is ready to swallow anything else." So got his little political dig in there. I love the stories. Cow Hugging Vegan had the fermented tabbouleh, and it's had Danish that had a beard, fungi growing on it like a white beard. Good Lord. So for World Cocktail Day, I'm both commemorating World Cocktail Day and testing my banana sugar syrups. I'm going to make 2 rum old fashions, and I'm going to decide which banana sugar syrup works best or tastes most banana-y. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, actually, God, no. No, I'm not going to bother with. Not going to bother with. I ran out of time. There's one thing I forgot to do. I was going to use my clear ice, but I've just got a great big thing that I actually have to cut into shapes and whatnot. And I don't think I have time to fuck around and do that now. That's too fiddly. I'll just do it with boring non-clear ice. Right, you bloody well right. Right, I'll get these old-fashioned glasses, or rocks glasses. Abigail, and that, my lord, is how we know the world to be banana-shaped. Holy Grail reference. Nice. Oh, dear. So, yes, and Nettie saying you love the Starwood New Old Fashioned. That's exactly what it is. A stimulating liquor composed of spirits of any kind, sugar, water, and bitters. They're house-made bitters. So, I am going to do this. I need to get some rums to make. Right, actually, I'm going to use my this here. Indonesian rum. Because I've used it. Batavia Arak. Not to be confused with the Mediterranean spirit Arak. A-R-A-K. Oh, nice. Nettie bought some Optifast. I hope that works for you. So I want that. And I want my Aroma Agricole overproof to kick it up a notch. And bitters, I suppose. Angostura bitters, which are actually just sitting here. I want a mixing glass too, of course. What is that? Right. Mixing glass. Gaz Regan's finger. Courtesy of Nettie. Right. Oh, I want a tasting spoon. Elegant looking spoon here. There used to be these nice long spoons here, and they're gone. Which makes no sense. Actually, I bet they're here. Are they here? Nope. This makes no sense to me. I don't know where they are. But, okay, so I'm going to do a taste of my, you get nostril cam. Right, rum, bitters, this, jigger. I need a jigger. Every time I look around. Stimulating liquor composed of spirits of any kind, sugar, water, and bitters. Right, that's framed up properly. I don't have my audio recorder. What a blunder. All right, got my audio recorder. Okay. A stimulating liquor composed of spirits of any kind, sugar, water, and bitters. Okay. So, just double check. It's May 13. I thought so. Okay, ready to go. G'day, cocktail lovers. I hope you've been keeping well. And hey, it turns out May 13 is World Cocktail Day. So me being the wild, crazy, impulsive type I am, I thought I'd make a cocktail. And apparently this day was declared because the earliest written definition of a cocktail was published on May 13 in the deep distant past. I should have looked up the exact year. But it was a question in a newspaper column saying, what is this thing people call a cock-tail? And the editor responds and says, it's a drink. And he has his own way of doing it. I'll get it. It's a stimulating liquor It's composed of spirits of any kind, sugar, water, and bitters. And that was a cocktail. What we call an old-fashioned now. And as the folklore has it, it's because it was the cocktail. And then as the 19th century progressed, people were coming up with all sorts of other mixed drinks. And someone decided the whole thing of mixed drinks should be called cocktails. So the story goes, people would go up to a bar and say, give me a cocktail, bartender. And the bartender says, what sort? No, give me the old-fashioned cocktail. So we call it an old-fashioned. If you order an old-fashioned now, almost every time you will get a whiskey old-fashioned. But the original definition, any spirit makes an old-fashioned. So for this World Cocktail Day, I'm going to do the cocktail, the old-fashioned cocktail, and I'm going to do it with rum. First, just for a bit of variety, because I've done variations on whiskey old-fashions before, but second, because I want to try out a special sugar syrup I've been making. It's a banana sugar syrup. I got the idea from liquor.com, and it's essentially pretty simple. You get a banana skin, weigh it so you know how much it is, put it in a bowl, cover it with its own weight in sugar, and then wait. And there is so much water in a banana skin, the sugar will draw that water out and it will liquefy. And I mean, you leave it for like 48 hours, and probably after 24 hours, it's mostly done. But the recommendation I read was 48 hours. So I guess more banana flavor comes in that time. And it's quite liquid. And so that's what I did. And after 48 hours, I strained it off. And because there was a bit of not completely dissolved sugar, I just used some hot water, about 2 ounces. It was like somewhere in the region of 50 to maybe 60 mils of water. And again, for the ratios, by sheer coincidence, the banana skin that I put down weighed almost exactly 100 grams. And so then I added 100 grams sugar, and then I used a bit of hot water to dissolve the sugar, and I ended up with the banana sugar syrup. I actually made two. This one's made with white sugar. This one is made with brown sugar. This was made with a coconut sugar, an unrefined sugar. So actually, before I even put it in a cocktail, I'm going to try side by side how different they taste, because white sugar should be more neutral. So I'm just going to have a little taste of the white sugar banana syrup. Sweetly got a banana taste going on in there. Now with my coconut sugar banana syrup, let's have a taste of that. Okay, very different sugar. I think the sugar actually dominates this one. Tastes a bit like golden syrup to me. But I am now going to make two rum old fashions, and in each one I'm going to put a different sugar syrup, compare them and see which one I think is better. We obviously need some rum. Do whatever rum you like in here. I recommend one that's fairly full-bodied in taste, because in my mind, you want this drink to have character, but use a rum you like. I'm using this one that I got not long ago. This is actually an Indonesian rum known as Batavia Arak, not to be confused with the Mediterranean or possibly Eastern European Arak, A-R-A-K. This is A-R-R-A-C-K. It's basically just rum made in Indonesia. When it was a Dutch province, they called it Batavia. So this rum was distilled in Indonesia and then aged in Amsterdam in oak barrels. And it's quite nice, 48% alcohol. So it's got a little bit of punch in it. And we're going to start with 2 ounces of rum, in my case, Batavia Arak. Just for fun, we're going to kick this up a little notch with an overproof rum as well. There's a lot to choose from in the world. I happen to have this one, another one I got quite recently. This is a white rum agricole, 55% alcohol, 110 proof. But I'm just going to put half an ounce, 15 mils of the overproof rum. Now for our sugar syrup, some people like to make it with raw sugar. They put the sugar in the bottom and put a little bit of water in and mix it up. And they actually like the fact that the sugar doesn't completely dissolve and you get a little gritty and it actually changes over the life of the drink. I prefer using sugar syrup myself. So I'm going to use half an ounce, 15 mils of sugar syrup. The final touch, some Angostura bitters. I'm going to do 2 dashes of bitters into our mixing glass. I'll use that ice. Every time I look around, get a little bit more ice. Whatever. Okay. This is a pretty simple drink. You could actually build it in the glass. I'm actually doing it in a mixing glass and I'm going to stir it down with some ice. The help of Gaz Regan's disembodied finger. Just going to stir that for about 15 seconds. Ice in the glass. Go. I'm going to use my Hawthorne strainer to strain that into a rocks glass with a big old rock of ice, also known appropriately enough as an old-fashioned glass. And there we have the first of my 2 rum old fashions. Now I got to quickly make another one. Make another one. Let's go. Let's go. Don't want to go over the top with the overproof rum. And our dark banana syrup. Oops, nearly fucked that up. Bitters. Stir that. The fuck, something fell in the glass. What the fuck was that? It's a fucking moth. A random moth fell into my glass, bastard. Oh, shit. Here we go. Strain. I need to peel a bit of orange. Right. Let's peel off a couple bits of orange. One bit. And we spritz. Wipe it around the glass. I think I'll put it in the glass. We spritz. That's nice. Around the glass. Twist it. There we go. And here we are, double fisting the rum old fashions. Unsurprisingly, they look very different. The dark sugar syrup has made the rum old fashioned dark and cloudy, and the light one is a very nice light amber. But it's not just about appearances. I did put a little garnish in, the old orange twist, just a little bit of orange peel, expressed the oils over the top, wiped it around the glass, dropped it in. Nothing too outlandish, but I do like doing that. I think the taste of this one is going to be milder, so I'll try it first. Oh, well, that is really good. It doesn't really taste, it might be a little bit of banana coming through. You may be surprised to learn it mostly tastes like rum, but with the dark sugar syrup. Ooh, yep. That's actually, I mean, the sugar syrup's not the dominant factor in it, but a dark sugar syrup, which is actually something I tend to like in old fashions, a dark sugar syrup, just gives a bit more depth. It's interesting, the banana sugar syrup doesn't really make the drink taste like banana. I might try it in some other drinks, but it's a pretty neat trick. You don't do anything but just cover the banana peel in sugar, and it completely liquefies. And like I said, use a little bit of water to get sugar that hasn't completely dissolved. But it's a nice little twist on a sugar syrup. Yeah, it definitely has a different character to just. And I think my thoughts that it would go well with rum were in fact correct. So now I've got, poor me, I now have to go off and finish 2 rum old fashioned. But yes, have a jolly old world cocktail day with your cocktail of choice, whether it's the cocktail, the old fashioned, or something else. But yeah, that banana sugar syrup is an experiment I recommend. In fact, I think particularly the dark one would probably be good on a dessert. I'm just thinking of like a pancake or an apple pie would probably go really well. I might actually try that on the weekend. I might also try a couple more old fashions. Who knows? No one can stop me. I'm double fisting old fashions. I should go before I say something even less appropriate than that. Hope you enjoyed that. I hope that gave you an idea, maybe an inspiration to try and make your own banana sugar syrup, because it's just nice to have these little tweaks that make cocktails just a little bit different. I might try it with a more subtle cocktail because then the banana might come through more, but that's an experiment for another day. For today, I'm going to finish these off. Hope you look after yourself, look after people around you as well. Until I see you again, cheers. All right, now I'll just switch some stuff off. Spodemon. Oh, Hazy might have come back while I was doing that and be sitting there frustrated. Oh, wow. That's a bit. There we go. Where are we? He is back. He's waving.
Although
Hello.
I was back watching you double fist rum, and
Yep.
I was laughing because you said, I wonder if this will taste nice. And you tasted it and went, oh, fuck, I'm going to down that. And then you tasted the other one and went, oh, fuck, I'm going to down that. And you were trying to pretend to be all fucking, I'm in a suit. And I could tell that you're just going to fucking down that real quick. I just saw it on your face. It was like, this is just too good to fuck around with. I'm going to slam this down. This body's at 80 proof. Fuck yeah. I'll show you a trick.
Show me a trick.
Look at that.
Oh, you got new teeth.
I've got new teeth because I asked them to fix up my old teeth, right?
Yes.
And they said, yeah, we've done that twice. And we've relined them this 3 times. So, no. We're going to charge you an inordinate sum of money for new teeth. And I went, how inordinate, because I'd already paid for a set of teeth, you see.
Yeah.
And this was at a different organisation.
Right.
I said, oh, no. Whatever you pay in the cheap teeth organisations is the same. So if you paid over at the Royal Dental Hospital over here at Panch, it registers. But this is your second pair of teeth in like 2 years, 3 years, 2 years. So you're going to have to pay the big money. And I'm going, fuck. And so they said, you better put $120 on the table. And I've gone,
They're fucking with you.
Okay, for $7,000 worth of work, I'll fucking try.
Socialized medicine.
Fuck me drunk. The top plate virtually stays in it on its own. I do glue it, but it virtually stays in on its own. And when I came into hospital and took a plate out to glue it, they nearly shit themselves because they said, "Are they dentures?" And I went, "Yeah." And they're fucking good. I'm going, yeah. Because I asked for a denture bowl.
Yep.
And I got my straight razor out to have a shave. That caused issues because the old hospital, St. Benny's, I went to rehab there first and then second. In the first rehab there, they said he self-harms.
I remember that, yes.
He doesn't. I was spewing because I heard all this on the telephone because I was in there initially for the emergency, and then they were going to send me to the same campus for rehab, and they refused to have me because I was a self-harmer and I was doing things to keep myself at hospital. And I was going, keep myself at hospital? Are you fucking kidding me? There's no boyfriend at hospital. You know, you can only bat so much when people come in every 15 minutes to do your fucking polls. Just, do you mind fucking disarm? If you want to do it in the other arm, it'd be moving. And fucking the self-harm came from me falling out of bed so slowly that I woke up as I was falling and I fell into the sheet that was tucked in. I went, what the fuck is going on here? And it was basically because they didn't put the side up. That's why I fell. And I cut my leg really deeply and they said, oh, he's self-harmed. And I've gone, you fucking... And they just got the shits, right? Because every time they made a point, I made a counterpoint. And they're used to patients going, "Oh, yes, doctor. Oh, no, doctor. Oh, yes, doctor. Oh, no, doctor." And I won't do it because I'm Professor Emeritus of Comedy. I fucking outrank all these cunts. And I published in 3D. And my published works are on TV and radio, so fuck you. You know, I don't care what you teach. I outrank you, surgeon. And I won't take this shit. So yeah, they just said, "Fuck him, he's not coming." And I heard all this on the phone and spewed and said, "You're going to change these things on my record." I get here and find that they've transferred this information here. I take out my straight razor to shave, and they go, "We are so very unhappy that you've got a straight razor."
Right. I'd be very iffy about you with a straight razor, no matter how unintentional. Oh, you get the shake suddenly and you got a straight, or you start asking for freaking meds while you've got a straight razor. I mean, honestly.
I was fucked when I shaved. I was pretty stoned when I shaved.
Yeah.
The trick with a straight razor is you've got, and they tell you, I learned to straight razor shave off YouTube. And I didn't just watch one video. I watched 5 videos, right? I didn't fuck
I'm
around.
just imagining you starting to watch one straight razor shave video, and after 2 minutes you look and go, "This is 15 minutes. Fuck that, I've seen enough. I can do it."
I'm good. And they all say, rule number 1, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Don't be tentative. Yes.
Don't be afraid. Second rule is you've got to shave at 30 degrees. And third rule is you never, ever change the direction of the razor while it's on your skin. You take it off your skin, then change the direction and 30 degrees. But as you're doing the 30 degrees, and this blew my mind, right? Out of the 5 that I watched, 3 of them said at the edge of the razor, and the razors I've got are some of the best in the world. They're called featherweight. They have platinum edges.
Okay.
And they are fucking sharp. I stupidly, when I went away from the shaver shop in Canberra when I got them, I wanted to test on my hair, and as soon as I touched it on my arm, pissed blood, and I went, sharp. And you know how you test a knife, right?
Yes.
I did it with the razor, and it was like, no, sorry, cut you. And I'm going, respect is the key. When they say shave, they say use the weight of the razor to do the work, and because it's got tiny little microfine little jags in it, it's actually sore. So you very gently move it sideways as you're cutting, very slowly sideways, so that you're sawing the hair. And not a lot, right? Like you're talking from there to there, you're talking maybe 2-3 millimeters. You're not fucking doing that. That's because that will make you go, "Oh, I don't need a cheek." As you can see, the hardest to shave are under your nose and under your chin. Easiest parts to shave are your cheeks and your neck. There is no excuse for a neck beard. There's no excuse for a neck beard.
No.
I see a neck beard, I go up to people and start pulling it out.
You know what? I honestly think people have forgotten the actual meaning of neckbeard. Like, it became a general insult for like an internet nerd. But there was a style with fat nerds in the 90s and early noughties where they shaved everything but their neck, and they had this gross, they're like, big fat fuckers like me and bigger, and they shaved everything except their neck.
Yes.
And that is an abomination before God. It is.
Yeah, and they had
Again,
hats that they called fedoras, but they
yes,
weren't fucking fedoras.
they were trilbies usually.
They were trilbies,
Yeah.
and they'd go, I've got my fedora and my neckbeard, and it's like, that's a trilby and neckbeard. Let me help you with the neckbeard, and then I'd start pulling their neckbeard out, hair by hair. And they go, what are you doing?
As you should.
Get it off. And I go,
As you
no, I'm
should.
helping. And this was at
Yeah.
parties. Party girls would laugh because as he was pulling their neckbeard hair out. The parties I went to were filled with magic gods, and they're not pleasant or merciful. They are drug fiends, and I am their guest of honour often. And I would always turn up out of uniform. You're supposed to turn up in your best goth gear, but I would turn up in jeans and a red shirt. Fucking even at meetings of the sewing circle, you're supposed to wear black because that's the uniform. And I would turn up in my red and blue or red and orange t-shirt and cargo pants, especially cargo shorts if it was hot. And after a while, my sewing circle ignored it. And they'd give me shit for it. Going, fuck, can't you wear uniform for everything? But then we'd have important functions and I'd come out of uniform. And they'd be going, shit, AZ, you're going to cop fucking so much shit. And then I would do something, and all of a sudden, all of the rest of the group would go, oh, okay, so he's allowed to come out of uniform, and that's why his sewing circle fucking allows him to come out of uniform, because he basically does stuff and it happens, and wow, shit. Okay, so don't fuck with that guy. Which is why I was then allowed to go up to neckbeards who had infiltrated their way in and start helping them with their neckbeard. And one poor kid with his trilby hat and his neckbeard, I started helping him. And he was going, oh, no, don't. And three other guys from three other sewing circles came in and said, we'll help too. And there's like eventually 5 guys pulling all his neck hair out. And the guy was virtually crying when we finished. And it was a horrible thing to do. But we were pretty fucked up. And he had a neck beard on. And he was doing things like going up to girls and being really understanding. And they would go, their creep fucking, their spider senses would go off going creep.
That was the other creepy thing, the tipping the hat and saying, "Milady,"
in the same breath, and fucking understand them. And we were going, yeah, dude, you've got to be fucking shown or told. And we showed him.
Yes.
And it wasn't the guys who were laughing; it was the girls. And the thing that pissed us right off was pretty much on his way out, he dropped something into a drink of one of the girls. And she was gorgeous. She was gorgeous. And one of the other guys saw it, grabbed the drink, and smashed it on the wall. Bounce comes straight over and says, "No, mate, you've got to go." And he says, "Yeah, dickhead over here, drop something in the drink." I was sorry, I just saw her reach for it and wanted to. And he said, "He dropped something in the drink, did he?" And Bounce wanders over and sees the fucking pill on the ground in the broken glass and went,
Yeah.
"Right, he's coming out the back." Anyone
Oh
coming with?
no.
Anyone
No.
coming with? And 4 guys came with. And
Yeah.
I knew 2 of them were loaded. And I thought, this guy's never coming back to a party. I don't know what happened to him. I don't really want to know what happened to him.
No, probably
I
wasn't good.
know there was an ambulance called.
Yeah.
But that's all I know.
Yeah.
And, you know, we were just so angry. And all the girls, it's funny, all the girls had a guy next to them all night talking to them. Because usually the guys get together and talk shop, and
Yeah.
half the girls are not interested
Yeah.
in what we do. They're just fucking, you know, for them
Yeah.
it's just woo woo crap, and their guy has a good dick and roots well, and shouts funny things when he's got his O face on, because that's the way it works. And
Yes.
fucking basically every girl had a guy next to her that night, and was talking about all kinds of shit, you know, and saying things like, tell me about you, tell me what interests you. And while they were listening, they were looking sideloning, you know what I mean? And you could see all the guys were sideloning,
Yeah.
and a couple of guys were laughing, and I looked at them and they went like this. And I laughed too, because, yeah, all the guys were just sidelining around the bar. It's like, you fucking come here, these girls, we are going to fucking hurt you. Because we didn't know like a third of the guys, but all the girls we knew had a partner. And I got asked by one of the girls, I don't feel safe. I haven't got a partner here. Can you take me home? And I went, yeah, no problem. So we get on a tram, we get on a train, and I take her home. And she goes, so you come upstairs for a coffee? And Azy, who's married, goes, yeah, sure. Come upstairs for coffee, and she starts taking off her clothes. And I'm going, that is one of the best bodies I have ever seen. And you know how goth girls have the special makeup on their eye? You know, her makeup was actually a tattoo, and it went
Oh.
right down the side of her body, down her cum gutter, into, and I was just going, I've been married for 5 years. I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can't do this. I can't do this. And I was going, darling, I just can't do this. And then a light bulb went on in my head. And I have a mate who is the nicest guy. And I said, I have a mate who is the nicest guy, who is really good at this. And to my everlasting shame, I said, I will start off, and when he comes, he will finish off, and I will retain my. I decided to go with the President Clinton defence, and he turned up and said, I thought you were in trouble. And I went, I am in fucking trouble. Gear off now. and he's 6-year-old, and he has tats that are pretty spectacular. And she was impressed in that. And he has a body on him that you look at, and if you're a guy, you get a hard on. And I said, I must fade away disappointed and saddened. And they both said, no, not disappointed, saddened. And then I faded away going, I'm President Clinton. And
I didn't actually ejaculate, so I didn't do anything wrong.
The train home. And my wife said, how'd it go? And I said, well, it was shit because there was neckbeards there and we had to fuck them up. And I took one girl home because she was afraid and got her to the door and she got, inside a flat. And she was still afraid, so I called a mate and he went over. So that was good. And then I trained at the last train. And then I got to Flinders and I had to walk halfway because the tram stopped. All of that part was true.
Yeah.
I just missed out a little bit of information.
You didn't actually lie, you just didn't go to all the detail.
I just didn't go into all the details. And the thing is, people ask me, were you faithful in your marriage? And I was. I wasn't twice. And I wasn't because I was fucked. I was totally inebriated.
Yeah.
And an ex of mine who got me totally inebriated for the purposes of basically used me. And God she could use. But before I was married, we used to basically, she used to turn up and we would go crazy. Didn't matter what time of day it was. My flatmates would complain. I lived in a house.
Okay, I actually have to interrupt you to respond to a couple of people. Apparently, Abigail likes neck beard on some people, but both you got Abigail and Annette's attention with goth girl sex. So that was good. And I also want to say hi to Dingle Doty, who's dropping in to say hi before she heads out to vote in Scottish elections, which this Scottish election could lead to another independence vote, depending who wins the election.
And so fucking with Brexit, Scotland is better off leaving UK because they do more trade with France directly than the UK does. They always have. France and UK have swapped wine and scotch for 1,000,000 years. And basically also a lot of Scots insurrection was funded by the trade from France and Scotland.
And also probably directly funded by the French because they hate the English. So
let's not just speculate about the fucking millions of francs that the fucking French, by private and government donation, gave the Scots to fuck up the English. I feel for the Scots though, because I went to the Fringe Festival and I got to talk to a lot of Scots, and they said England is fucked because they allowed devolution right at the time when the coal mines were empty, the ports were no longer making ships, the steel was finished, and the industry was gone. And they basically, they used the shit out of Scotland, and then they fucked off. And the same thing happened with the North. The same thing happened with Ireland. As soon as English is finished with you, you're gone. And we know this is Australia. Fucking World War II. Send all your troops, all of them, to the Middle East to get fucking Tobruk back. And we did twice because every time we gave it to the English, they lost it. So the fucking big red rat had to go back and get it again. And then Curtin basically says, the Japanese are getting closer to Singapore and it's starting to freak me out. And then Churchill said, no, it's all good. Singapore's solid as a rock. We've got so many ships there. And then Churchill said, fuck all the ships off because the Japanese are getting close. And Curtin's going, all my troops are in the Middle East. And if they get Singapore, they've got a straight shot to Australia because they come straight through New Guinea and come down, which they did. And basically Curtin ordered against the British direction to bring the troops home. And apparently he didn't sleep for 2 weeks while the ships were on their way and people were worried about him. And apparently also during that time he went for a walk up Mount Ainslie. This is the Prime Minister of Australia. And they basically didn't know where he was for 5 hours and they were freaking out. But the troops came home. The Choco soldiers were sent to New Guinea and they acquitted themselves fucking brilliantly. And they stopped the advance of the Japanese for the first time in the Second World War. The Americans
actually pre-Second World War, because the Japanese Imperial Army in the 10 years previous to the Second World War was invading China and committing various atrocities there. And the Japanese Imperial Army beat the Americans in the Philippines. They beat the British in Singapore. And then they were coming through PNG, Papua New Guinea. And next stop, Queensland, although there is some theory there was dissent in Japanese command on if it was worth doing a land invasion on Australia, if they'd rather just annex it with their navy. But the PNG advance of the Japanese Imperial Army was the last thing stopping them from making moves on Australia. And reservists sent in, as he calls them, the Chocos. They were called chocolate soldiers because they weren't real soldiers and were expected to melt at the first sign of heat. And they actually stopped an advancing army that hadn't been stopped for nigh on 20 years.
That was the
and
first.
they held them long enough for the veterans who'd been seriously fucking battle hardened, mostly in the Africa campaign. And then the regulars came in and reinforced them. But the reservists, who were not expected to hold up at all, stopped an advancing army that no one else had been able to stop. They swept through China. They'd swept through the South Pacific. They defeated the Americans. They defeated the British, and they were held.
No one in the history books fucking admits it. No one. The other thing they didn't admit was on the north coast of New Guinea when they were pushing them back into the sea, back into Bougainville and back into Tobruk, not Tobruk, of the island that they used as a stronghold. They had the Americans with them. And when the Japanese advanced, the Americans ran away. They ran away. And the Australians went, well, that's not going to be very helpful. I mean, they got in trouble for it, okay, but it was kept silent. The other thing that happened was that they they basically got hold of plans from the Japanese that said they were going to take the first third of Australia. They were going to use the oil. They were going to use the metal. They were going to use all of the resources, and they needed them. And it was going to be great. If they got them, they would have effectively taken the Pacific and the West Coast.
They were one
of America.
They were one way or another. Their plan was to force Australia to be part of the South Pacific Economic Prosperity Zone, which meant Japan had complete control over all of the economies in the South Pacific.
And America and England, America and Britain said, yes, we will let them do that, and we will get it later.
That was apparently literally what Churchill said to Curtin. Curtin said, I need my troops back. They're going to invade and take the country. And Churchill apparently literally said, let them take Australia. After I've dealt with Hitler, I'll take it back. To which the Australian Prime Minister said, maybe not. Not a great deal for us. Not a great deal.
And Curtin, with his cabinet, which involved Menzies, said, we will scorch all of Northern Australia using Aborigines to help us because they know how to do it. And the Aborigines who had come across the Japanese in small skirmishes on the coast. Not a lot of people know. Darwin got bombed, but they were bombing all the way from Broome, all the way around to Cairns, and virtually unstoppable. And it was basically a trial run of where can they stop us? And the Japanese went, they can't. They just fucking can't. And so they sent skirmish squads over to Australia to see what they could do. And the Aborigines found that if they got caught, they got tortured, then they got killed. And one of their games was to cut the penis off the Aborigines and stuff it in their mouth and take bets on whether they would asphyxiate or bleed to death first. Yeah. And so the Aborigines had decided that the Japanese were not welcome. Yes. And they agreed with the Australian white guys, we will burn the country so nothing remains. And they will poison the water so that if you drink it, you will suffer a long and agonising death. Because there's so many medicine plants in Australia that are not good for you, because they could easily do it. And they would poison billabongs so the fish would die. They would basically burn all the animals south. So the kangaroos, all the eating animals that
would move south.
All the cattle would be speared and allowed to rot. And of course, the farmers were all up for this. And then the next plan, and this scares me because it's the plan that we've got in place now, is they would let an advancing army come right down into the green zone, and then they would interdict their water and their petrol and leave. Have the best one, my friend.
All right. While you're taking a breath, because it's almost time for bed, I just want to say Megaleech has dropped in at the last moment. I want to say hi to
Megaleech. How you doing?
And I also thought you'd identify with what Heist said. He said last night fell over while trying to hop upstairs with a walking frame. Haha, oops. Dude. Didn't damage myself this time, though. No. Oh, shit. Speaking of damaged and you and your false teeth, something I want to get this in. I only discovered recently, like we've often made jokes about Shane McGowan, lead singer of the Pogues, who was a terrible alcoholic and was fucking himself with alcohol. He was always notorious for his gross, crooked teeth. And in the 90s, they rotted away. There were all these terrifying photos of him from the 90s. where all the teeth have just rotted down to black stumps that are in his gums, and his skin is this horrific pasty white of an alcoholic who's about to die. But then at some point he got false teeth and he looked better. And it was like, God, how did he get away with that? I just found a video on YouTube that's from 2 or 3 years ago. He was on some talk show, and I hadn't been keeping track of what happened to Shane Gown, but he apparently had a really serious stroke because he's super fucked on this chat show. He can barely talk, and it's like, oh, the alcohol finally caught up with you. And he has clearly had a very serious stroke. I don't think he's dead yet. I think I'd know if he was dead.
Yeah,
But
you'd know if he was dead.
I was really surprised
because
I hadn't heard about him. Like he got the teeth like 10 years ago or something, and he looked way better. But yeah, I just randomly found this clip on YouTube of him on some talk show, and yeah, he's fucked. Like he's had a really serious, probably a succession of strokes, but he's had at least.
The fucking really funny part is that he's got enough money to have support until he dies, and I feel for him because he's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Let me just finish off what I was saying. They were going to wipe out their water, and they're going to wipe out their fuel.
Yeah.
And so they were going to let thousands and thousands and thousands of men wander on foot in the burnt desert of Australia until they starved to death.
Yeah.
Or ran out of water to drink. That would be a fucking horrible way to die.
Yeah, no. It was pretty spiteful because, as you said, with the horrible things the Japanese were known to do with Aborigines all through the South Pacific, the Japanese were super fucking racist. And they shared this thing that, unfortunately, some white doctors still have today, that they thought black people don't feel pain. And so they would do absolutely terrible things to the Pacific Islanders to test their pain thresholds, and same with Aboriginal Australians. They were fucked. So I'm also, before we go, Toronto Maple Leaf came in. How did the drinks and syrups go? Drinks gone. I made rum old fashions with banana syrup made with white sugar, made with brown sugar. Both very good. This one tastes more like banana. This one tastes more like the sugar that's in it. But I made rum old fashions with both of them. They were both very good. So I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with that experiment, quite frankly.
Jason,
Yep, there goes your phone, buddy.
Going.
All right.
Hey, Jace. Hey, boss of the house. I'm.
You can say good night and talk to him if you like.
Good night, everybody. I love the shit out of you guys. Come and visit me if you want. I'm apparently going to be here for a little while.
Oops.
Love, peace, look after one another. That's the culture of our country.
Yeah.
Love you, Angry. Thank you so much for letting me be on your show. See ya.
Bye. All right. So yes. Yes. Toronto Maple Leafer. It's awesome. All you do, and I didn't realize, I only saw this recipe recently. It's so simple. Banana skin has so much water in it. You just get a banana skin, you weigh it so you know how much it is, and then cover it in its own weight in sugar. And over 24 to 48 hours, the sugar will leach all the water out of the banana skins, and it will make this syrup. I did add a little bit of water to it to dissolve a little bit of sugar that wasn't fully dissolved. But so this is banana syrup made with white sugar. This is banana syrup made with brown sugar, obviously. They're both very good. And I made rum old fashions with them. And they're fucking awesome. This is the other thing I'm doing. I'm halfway through doing this. I'm going to shoot a bit more video when I finish this stream. See, citrus peel, covered it in sugar over a period of 12 to 24 hours. Same deal. It leaches the oil out of the citrus peel. So this is called an oleosaccharum, which is Latin for oil sugar. Whereas with the banana skin, it's water that you're leaching out. With the citrus, it's the citrus oil that you're leaching out with the sugar. There's a name for that process, the behavior of sugar that does that. But I'm going to do a bit more with this and make like a sweet and sour mix with this for cocktails. So I'm doing stuff, but I'm going to do that off camera. I'm going to go to bed now. Oh, Nate, you might visit AIDS again. Didn't get much chance for much of a visit. You say, fair enough. Oh yeah, no, Toronto Maple Leaf at AIDS is back in hospital. Yes. With slightly different sort of fucked up things for AIDS. So, no, actually, Toronto Maple Leaf, the bitterness in the peels is the pith, the white stuff. Like if you peel citrus, you'll normally get white stuff underneath it. That's called the pith. That's the bitter part. So the peel's actually not that bitter. But you definitely get a different flavor from the peel than you do from the juice. But I'm going to make a very special thing with that, and it'll be in a video later. Yes, I'm calling it like a sweet and sour cordial, world's best sweet and sour mix for cocktails. Because basically, if I added water to that now and made a syrup, that would be called an oleosaccharum. What I'm going to do is actually to add fruit juice, the juices from the peels, dissolve all the sugar, and then milk clarify that. And that makes this whole new thing. It's absolutely fantastic. Just a beautiful flavor, and is almost like a cordial. I'm calling it the world's greatest sweet and sour mix. But I'm going to go to bed now. So see you fine people. Well, tomorrow night's party night, Friday night party night. I'm going to make a couple more cocktails for next week. I have to really decide exactly what I'm going to do. This is going to be for Milk Punch Monday. So because it's milk clarified, sweet and sour mix, I have to decide then what cocktail to make with it. And we'll do something else. But tomorrow night, we'll do Angry Bunch tomorrow night. So see you fine people another time. If you can make it tomorrow night, we'll make it party night tomorrow night. But, I guess, take care.